And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one, the only V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live on another edition of Rogue Money Mornings with my main man, the master of the flux capacitor, CJ. And we're going to break down the news, the views, and all the information that's important to use. With that being said, check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, and check us out on the Rogue Money Facebook page. You can also check out our sponsors at myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us, the place where you can get funded, where you can get your credit fixed, where you can get your debt relief, you name it. It's the one-stop financial shop, myfreedomnow.us. With that being said, CJ, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, V. Good morning.
Good morning, buddy. I'm on my first cup of dark roast. It's my Guatemala mix, man.
Nice and dark roast, right?
Yeah, it's my Guatemalan dark roast. I'm trying to get down with my inner Guatemala. I don't know what I'm just bugging out, dude. It was a great morning, though, Siege. You got up early. I took the longest shower known to mankind. I think my wife got even mad at me how long I was in the shower. And I feel refreshed. I feel quite refreshed. And then I was able to rub coconut oil, cold-pressed coconut oil, all over my hairy gorilla body. It was great, man. So my gorilla hair is all primed and pressed. Had a banana smoothie this morning, and feeling good.
Look at you go. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
That's it, man. That's it. How are you this morning, bro?
I'm doing great. The family's starting a new workout routine
Workout.
today. Yeah. So the family's gonna do some workouts together and get in shape, man. So
Wow,
pumped
what
up to
kind of
get us
workouts?
started. Yeah.
What kind of workouts?
Just mostly like some conditioning, some strength training, things of
That's
that
awesome.
nature. Yeah.
That's
Because it's that time, not only be mentally fit, but physically fit as well, V.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, bro. The best thing you could do is to have your health healthy and wealthy, right? That's what they say. If you
Healthy
can't
and
get
wealthy.
wealthy, just be healthy. That's what I'm saying. It's your health is the most important investment. Um, come on, let's not leave things to chance here, right?
Yeah, let's not leave things, like the state of Illinois.
The state of Illinois, folks, yet again proves that far left wing libtards do nothing more than bankrupt, destroy, and insolvent the states that they live and run in. Illinois being the latest reality check as another signet on the pathway to socialism, another signpost and warning and clarion call to the rest of us who have a brain that the letting Democrats and libtards run amok. This is what happened, Siege. And what happened here, Siege?
When you think about it from a capacity standpoint, V, I mean, Illinois, I believe, is like the fourth or fifth largest state, right?
Yep.
And they even with the tax receipts, everything that they have brought in, they have over $14 billion in unpaid bills, V.
Almost as bad as Puerto Rico.
Or Puerto
Another
Rico, basically.
libtard state.
And so
Well, not a
basically what's
state, but
happening, V, is they're having to determine now where to, specifically to pay the bills. They have a huge, social programs, debt, Medicaid, all those things. And now you take a look at their bonds that they issue, they're pretty much junk, V. I mean, their cost of borrowing is going, I mean, they've already been downgraded to basically a junk bond for the state of Illinois.
yeah.
And so and then you recently have seen them pass this new minimum wage. They've raised income taxes. I mean, it's just a kind of a death spiral for them right now. I mean, lots
Sure.
of challenges ahead for Illinois.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Last Wednesday, following the Illinois downgrade, court ruled against the state. Judge ordered the parties to continue to negotiate to achieve substantial compliance and the consent decrees in these cases. If they cannot be negotiated a solution, either party may make an appropriate motion to be noticed for pressment on June the 20th. So basically, next week, Illinois got to come up with the good stuff. Otherwise, they got some serious issues, man.
Yeah, serious issues, and they're going to specifically have to determine, what they can and can't pay, and that's not even considering the huge state employees pension default that's occurring there right now. I mean, you're talking about them on a monthly basis having a over $1 million shortfall on their state pension plans. So just numerous challenging here. So basically, we're witnessing probably the next state to go bankrupt and belly up.
Why is it that every state run by Democrats is pretty much in a shithole, CJ? Why is that? Why is it that every state run by a Democrat and run by Democrats, or the overall Democrat majority, is featuring budget crises? I mean, you and I both know the reason why, but I mean, come on. It's junk bonds. Pension funds are robbed. Everything is robbed. Everyone's squeezed. So they can create another welfare program, so they can create another social program to help out, the downtrodden and those that are less fortunate. When the downtrodden and less fortunate, the best thing you could do is remove the social net. Okay? If the social net was removed, CJ, what's going to happen? Let's just say tomorrow we end freaking welfare, right? They'll be rioting in the city for a few days, but afterwards they'll realize, okay, after they burn down half of where they live, then they realize, okay, maybe we should do something. If we remove welfare, guess what happens? This country goes back to what it was like 100 years ago. When you got downtrodden, what kept you together? Family. Okay? Simple. Family. Minority groups where you have illegitimacy rate, like in the African American community, which is like 74, 76, 78, almost 80%, that crap goes away because now welfare is not there anymore, and then the man has to be back in the house. Because that's one of the requirements of welfare. You want welfare? Oh, you can't have a man in the house. You can't have a man in the house. Well, now the man's back. And then you have a return of family. That's the thing that you will get when you get rid of welfare. Because that's what people did. What was the safety net back in the days? It was family. You lost your job. You showed up at your mother-in-law's house as much as you hated it. You know? That's what you did. You showed up at your mother-in-law's like, crap, I'm here for the next few months until I get back on my feet. And you did whatever job you had to do. Like, look at Alabama. They've instituted that work program for their welfare. You want welfare? You got to get a job. You got to go find a job somewhere. Oh, crap. 85% of their food stamps and their welfare crap just disappears. Is that coincidence? Do you think there might be somebody abusing the system? I'd say so. Ridiculous, man. And this is what happens. These freaking libtards, because their whole worldview, CJ, is oppressed versus the oppressor.
Yeah, they don't understand, V, that you cannot manage an economy, you cannot manage society based upon philosophy, based upon social justice, based upon all these non-tangible feel-good things that doesn't understand that essentially you run out of other people's money at some point, V.
Absolutely correct, man. It's like this. You cannot build a society built around the poor. And that sounds harsh in modern-day America and the modern feminized society we live in. But when you want to build civilization is not built catered towards the poor. Sorry. No human civilization, no culture built greatness catering to the poor. Now that sounds harsh and cold-hearted. Let me expand on that a little bit. If you're going to build civilization, what you'd want to do is you're building for those who have the means to produce. So civilization is built by producers for producers. And those with the greatest means to produce the biggest things in which everyone else benefits. It's that dreaded thing that most libtards hate called trickle-down economics. It works. That being said, when you cater to the poor, who don't produce much of nothing, who don't have a skill set to offer, they stand no chance. Human development stops. When you produce and you create civilization based on those who are able to produce, the poor have a chance to pull themselves out of poverty. It's that simple. It's basic economics, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all know, V, that it's a globalist agenda in terms of enslavement, right? Enslavement to government, where a society is felt so dependent upon the system to take care of them. That's a globalist agenda.
Absolutely, man. And it's this stuff has been going on forever in terms of the debate. It's nothing new. It's nothing new whatsoever. And when you look at like for instance, right? You look at Benjamin Franklin, right? When that guy went to, I think it was France, okay? And when he went to France, he said this. He was shocked because in France at that time, even back then, liberty, fraternity, equality was running rampant, and the social state started even back then, where the poor were given handouts and social welfare and the society safety net, and he saw more and more poor versus the colonies where there was no social net whatsoever, and the colonies were prospering because then you don't have a safety net. It's sink or swim. It's going to bring out the best in you. Period. And this is what Franklin says. He says, I am for doing good to the poor, but I think the best way of doing good to the poor is not making them easy in poverty, but leading or driving them out of it. I observed, and this is what he's talking about when he went to Paris, the city of lads, and now it's the city of jihad. I observed that the more public provisions were made for the poor, the less they provided for themselves, and of course became poorer. And on the contrary, the less that was done for them, the more they did for themselves and became richer. There it is, man.
There it is.
A
Absolutely.
wise quote from 200 some odd years ago. There it is. In a nutshell. That's it. That's the answer. The more you do for them, the less they do for themselves, they become poorer. The less you do for them, the more they do for themselves, and they become richer. It's just that simple. Just that simple.
It is.
Moving on, my friend, another study of retarded economics and backwardization to the fullest effect is my favorite country that is the poster child of stupidity, Zimbabwe. What is
Zimbabwe? Yes.
I think this is like a type and shadow for the rest of us, bro. Go ahead. Break it down.
Just in terms of currencies, currency manipulation, in particular, overreach, when you have governments that place these regulations, these controls, back in 2008, if you take a look at what happened in Zimbabwe, you took a look at the US dollar, right? You take a look at their currency where they were pretty much banning the dollar for the sake of their Zim dollar, right? So basically, I think at one point they had their largest currency was what, like $1 trillion bill that they had.
Oh my God! Yeah, they printed $1 trillion note, bro. It's crazy.
And even though you had this mass regulation against a certain currency, the people, the black markets will always be available. So be determined to still succeed despite all these crazy regulations of what governments do.
Yep. Absolutely, man. And when you see, and here's the thing, one of the greatest things, and I was talking to a buddy of mine out in Cali. He's in the financial game, such as I was, and one of the things, he's got his sister lives in Zimbabwe with her husband, and they're Caucasian. Husband is Afrikaner from South Africa, I think it is, and they make a killing. They're making $200,000-$300,000 a month or a year or something like that on the black market in Zimbabwe, because the black market and government hates the black. See, here's the thing about government. Let me explain black market. Black markets are not evil. They're not this cantankerous, seedy, disgusting, criminal type place where you can get mugged or whatnot. Black markets governments hate black markets because governments hate competition. Number one, governments hate black markets because government wants everybody to be miserable at the same time. The way people in Zimbabwe with their $1 trillion notes are able to survive is they're able to exchange their worthless, crappy notes for either Bitcoin, gold, dollars, euros, whatever the hell it is. So a guy will literally come with a bucket filled with Zimbabwe currency, and then exchange it for US dollars and whatnot. Okay, you could have like a bucket, trillions and trillions of Zims, hundreds of trillions of Zims for like, $20-30, which will pay for the entire 2 months worth of groceries and food for him and his family. That's the way it's played. And the black market emerges as a way to take care of people. Without the black market, the people in Zimbabwe will be in absolute starvation. They'll be dead. Okay? Thank God for the black market. And the black market does something that the idiot central planners fail to do. The black market, because it is a free market, sets its own price point. So the prices that are paid in the black market are not as egregiously high as it would be if governmental price controls were in place. Bam! Okay, so it's a wonderful thing. So the black market, folks, is there in order to help people. That's it. Why do you think the Western nations are freaking out about, and the central bankers are freaking out about cryptocurrency? They can't control it. To them, it's like a black market. That's what people have to realize. Okay? The black market is a beautiful thing. I love it.
By the way, speaking of cryptocurrency, did you listen to Jim Cramer when he talked about Bitcoin?
Oh God, yeah. Cramer. There's a guy that knows what he's talking about. Jim Cramer. There's nothing wrong with Bear Stearns. Buy. Bear Stearns a great stock. Buy it now. I mean, that's a horrible Jim Cramer impersonation, but it was he was telling you to buy Wednesday, and then Bear Stearns tanked on Saturday. I mean, this guy's telling you to buy crap that is just whatever. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, Jim Cramer traded at a time before the algos took over. Okay, so whatever this guy's telling you, it doesn't even freaking matter. Doesn't even matter. Whatever. It's all run on algos. And we already know what the 4 horsemen are. That's why I tell people, get your money from My Freedom Now. And I'm like, if you got, think about it. If I got $600K, man, dude, I'm telling you right now, cryptos, some silver, a little bit of gold, and I will be invested in Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Google. Heck, I'll even long Tesla for the time being. I'll be long in everything. You got to be crazy to short anything right now. There's nothing going to happen. And again, I got friends of mine who disagree with me, but I believe firmly there will be no market crash this year. I'm confident on that. I believe it. There's not going to be no crash. That's why me and Dex, we agree on that as well. There's no crash. This thing's going to go to hyper. It's going to go hyperbolic. This thing's going to go through Dow 30,000. Here we come. Get your T-shirts, folks. Dow 30,000. Moving on, Siege.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, V. And you take a look at some of the things that are happening, across the globe right now. So the momentum that's taking place, and in Syria, there was a big win where they were able to secure the southern part of Syria back. And now we have Vladimir Putin and Russia coming forth to warn, basically, the U.S. coalition had a second strike against Syrian forces, and now Russia is sending out a specific warning to the deep state to not let that happen again, V.
Absolutely, man. Lavrov made a huge point and told the guys, listen, knock it off. He said, the U.S. has, he said that, the U.S. has made it clear that they're displeased with the Shiite militia's efforts to reach the Iraqi border. And that's like, what the heck is the U.S. doing with a forward operating base in southern Syria? Like, what the heck is that all about? That's got to go. They have no right to be there. And the U.S. is like, that's a de-escalation zone. How about you getting your ass out of there is de-escalation. The U.S.'s rear end being in Syria, it doesn't de-escalate anything. It escalates everything. So either we remove those bases or somebody's got to bomb the shit out of that base, because what's happening is those are not real troops. Those are deep state actors that are in play. I guarantee it, man. This is ridiculous. That's what I said, CJ, the other day. If you're a terrorist organization and you're worried and you're losing and no one else could help you, call on the United States. They will come and bomb anybody who's trying to wipe you off the face of the planet. They'll come and bomb them. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Art of the deal, bro. What is this, CJ? Art of the deal.
Well, and again, I hope this isn't a move, and we continue to monitor. We're very supportive of. We want the administration to succeed, but this is one of those that just really made me scratch my head, V. And hopefully it's not a play to court. John McCain.
No. I know this is good. This is real good.
So Trump aggressively courting Cindy McCain, John McCain's,
Yes.
wife, for a State Department job. V.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great. That's very good.
So
I
we'll
like
see
this.
specifically what happens with this move.
Uh-huh.
How he pulls, her in to possibly help manage, John. Basically, we'll see.
Dude, this is a brilliant move. You know why? If anybody know the inside between Cindy and John, and I've heard plenty from inside sources, they hate each other. Cindy McCain cannot stand John McCain. This is good.
There's the rub.
This is real good. Well played. And I'm telling you, guys who don't get that angle, they're going to be like, what the hell is this all about? No, I'm telling you right now. Cindy McCain and John McCain do not like each other. Cindy McCain loathes John McCain. And John McCain is certifiably a lunatic at this point. He's crazy. Everybody knows it. Nobody wants to mention it, but he is mentally ill, and he's possibly even going to drop dead soon. Okay? This is brilliant move. This is how you manage and muzzle. And I'm telling you, if this is out, John McCain blew a gasket. He is absolutely pissed. He does not like this. This rubs McCain the wrong way. Well played. Well played. Wow. That's a cool move. All right, man. So what else we got, buddy? We got Sessions seeking to reset medical cannabis legislation. What is he doing?
Yeah,
what is this holdout from the religious right 90s? What's this guy doing?
Yeah, so Sessions sent basically Congress a letter, and as you know, 8 years ago under the Obama administration, they allowed the states to pass their own legalization efforts. Yeah. And in part, one of the reasons why this occurred was because the DEA never had the funds to do any type of crackdown on the states. They just didn't have any type of funds to support that big of a scale. Well, now in a letter to Congress, Sessions is specifically asking, for the funds to go through and potentially, again, this isn't like 1,000% certain, but potentially for funds that would allow them to intervene in states that are legal. V. And this is something that throughout the campaign, Trump was very supportive of medicinal cannabis, very supportive of the states, saying that, hey, we'll leave the states alone. So he needs to reel Sessions in and say, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you continuing the failed drug war and everything that occurred there? So this is just something I want to put out there just as a kind of something to keep our eyes on.
You know who Jeff Sessions is? Jeff Sessions is some son of some preacher kid. He looked like he grew up in the church in the South his entire life. So he's really religiously indoctrinated. And he probably, grew up and watched reruns over and over of that movie from the 50s called Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like I look at Jeff Sessions and I'm reminded of the movie Reefer Madness. Like he's one of those paranoid schizos who think marijuana is going to kill you. Okay? It is ridiculous. Look what this idiot wrote. In the new letter to Congress, the Attorney General wrote that marijuana use has significant negative health effects and is linked to an increase in psychiatric disorders such as psychosis, respiratory ailments. No, you jackass. I can show you medical studies where marijuana actually improves lung function. Respiratory ailments such as lung infections, cognitive impairments such as IQ loss, and substance use disorder. Is he talking about prescription drugs?
I have no idea.
He must be talking about prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't smoke nothing, but I know the health benefits of marijuana, the health benefits of cannabis. This guy needs to be reeled in quick. This guy that's left over from the religious right 90s. This guy is from the Newt Gingrich days back in the 90s. America's contract, the contract with America, whatever. Yeah, this got to go. Hey, yeah, not good. Well, hopefully he gets reeled in because he only runs so far before Trump pulls the leash. Next financial crisis starts in Europe. CJ, what's this all about?
Well, again, the whole failed EU and their entire debt enslaved banking cartel. And so now we see witness V that one of the largest banks, Banco Popular, that basically is a failed bank, being absorbed by other banks and continue to issue these
one failed
massive.
bank being absorbed by Santander, another failed bank.
Isn't that wonderful?
Hats off, guys. Brilliant move.
Yeah, so just continue again to monitor this entire just fiasco in the EU regarding their failed debt enslaved programs that continuously just corrode away from, all they do when this happens because they just pump out new debt. They go in, they take away, land, they take away all these things from their citizens in these countries, but
go ahead,
this
man.
is just insane. No, just craziness, B.
Dude, it's nuts. It's like I'm reading this. Like Santander's going to tap into its shareholders for the $7 billion that it needs and rights to issue to raise capital to shore up, Banco Popular's finances. $7 billion. They don't have the money. This is like one zombie. The whole financial institution, CJ, with these big banks, okay, with these mega banks, it's like one zombie eating another zombie. They don't even want fresh meat. It's like they don't even know what to do with live fresh meat. So they got to have one zombie that eats another zombie that goes ahead looking for more zombies to eat. It's ridiculous. At the same time, they're all rotting to death. At the same time, they're all like decaying while they're eating each other. I love it. it. Santander, please put a couple more grenades into your coffers and please pull the pins. Russia going full blockchain while the U.S. goes full retard. What's this all about, bro?
Yeah, so it looks like Putin has met with the CEO, the founders of Ethereum, to create a national virtual currency V. So we reported on this, last week, I believe, in regards to Russian efforts to, go full crypto. And now
hold on, CJ. Hold on, CJ. Who was it, CJ? Who was the team? Who was the radio show? Who was the morning show, CJ, that over a year ago was saying cryptos for the masses as nations roll out cryptos that are on a blockchain and then gold for trade? Who was that, CJ?
I don't know. Maybe in some gorilla that posted an article about it, I believe.
Oh, who was the morning team, CJ, that talked about, hey, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum when it was what, a couple $100, right?
Now,
for Bitcoin, $40, $50 for $30 for Ethereum, huh?
Yeah, and Ethereum had a huge thing yesterday.
I had a buddy of mine from Illinois contact me. He goes, yo, man, I want to thank you. I was like, yeah, for what's up? Hey, you told me to get Bitcoin, Ethereum. I had $10,000. I pumped it in there before the whole market went up. Now I have over $250,000. Thank you. $10,000 investment is worth now $250,000.
Boom, there you go.
Tell your stockbroker to do something similar. I dare you. Anyway, we got an article real quick from James. Russia shifts from this is a quote from his article. It's about Russia shifts from a public single payer, which in practice has a vast majority of Russians required, to an individual insurance based on a healthcare system that uses of the blockchain in medical record keeping and secure transactions are also of great importance. Russia's controversial and often overheated real estate sector, faced with populist pressure for greater transparency in both state and owned and private large-scale property transactions, is another area where blockchain can reap major dividends in fighting corruption. The vast majority of the country also needs greater liquidity outside of its often shaky regional banks, plus alternatives to the dollar and euro. Transactions in both global reserve currencies have been subject to both official and unofficial, this is undeclared, sanctions since Moscow returned to Crimea to Russia and Donbass proxy war NATO began. So this is a whole article that James has about Russia's transaction to the blockchain and cryptos, man. Great stuff. That is the end of the show, CJ. Go ahead, buddy.
No, that's it. And then also he has another article that's going to be hitting roguemoney.net as well today in regards to his thoughts on the Saudi and Qatar little thing going on there. So that's about it, V.
Absolutely. And with that being said, folks, we're at the end of the show. We took a little extra time today because there was a lot of stuff to cover, and I was ranting and raving like a madman, like a gorilla that's fresh out of bananas. And with that being said, we'll be back later today. We're going to get Trading Terror Dome at some point up today. with me and Dex. I have things I got to run later on the even in the afternoon, so we'll get it all squared away with. Check us out, roguemoney.net. Download the podcast, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and check out our sponsors also, myfreedomnow.us. Get the funds. Get the money you need for investments, for getting out of debt, for buying a house. Whatever the heck you need, make it happen for yourself. Go forth and be epic. Gorilla and CJ, we're out.